Hello, and thank you again for joining us. So this video is for our last week doing Camp Healing Hearts Online 2021, and this week is about hope and moving onward. So if you take your booklet here, and in the last section, second to last section, in the yellow part here, you'll see week 4, hope and moving onward. So for this week in Hope and Moving Onward, I added in this year something different, another book called The Invisible String by Patricia Karst. And this book talks about how we are all connected. The reason a lot of people like this book, myself included, is just helping us remember the importance of how we're all connected. And in this book in particular, it mentions how an uncle of the children had died, and that even though he was no longer here physically, that they were still connected through their memories and their connection there. And that's what I wanted to emphasize with hope and moving onward, is that we still have that connection with anybody who's already died, any loved one of ours, someone that's special to us, that even though they're not here physically with us anymore, the importance, the impact, what they did for us, how much we cared for them, loved them, that love and care we felt from them, that's the invisible string. That still we are connected to that person, even though we don't have the chance to see them right here with us anymore. So that I thought was a good way to talk into about hope and moving onward. So the first thing I wanted to ask you is, what does hope mean to you? Have you ever heard that word before? Do you know what that means? And depending on how old you are, but also experiences and things that have happened in your life, that idea of what hope is might change. So I wanted you to first think about, when I say hope, what does that mean to you? And if you are able to, I'd say pause this, think about it, write it down. There's blank paper we provided in your book, your booklet here. Feel free to use that, or you can use your journal, anything. Or if you just want to think about it, that's okay too. So just take some time and think about what that means to you. What does hope mean? And after you've had some time to think about that, if you're able to, I'd say share that with somebody else. Or if you really feel like you don't know what hope is, maybe find someone to talk about it with. If there's anyone in your family, somebody that you're close to, another friend, someone who's older than you, what they think hope means, and talk about it. So on the paper I provided was a couple of places where I found information looking up what does hope mean. So some wrote that hope means to look forward with confidence. That hope is the feeling that what is wanted can be had, or that events will turn out for the best. Feeling of optimism, or a desire that something will happen. So some of these words are pretty big. So what I like to think of it is hope is looking forward to something. Hope can be like wishing for something. Oh, I really hope I get to do this, or I really hope I get to go this place. So maybe there's something we really, 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 really want. Maybe there's a certain toy or an activity or a place to go that we really, really want. Maybe over the summertime, when you were in school, there was things you were hoping to do, that you were thinking about and wishing for, and I hope I get to do this during the summer. So think of that. That's what hope is. Looking forward to something, wishing for something. So the difficulty with hope is that hope can change in our life. Hope can take different forms. It can mean different things to us at different times. So maybe your loved one that died was sick, and then you had no opportunity, or we couldn't wish anymore or hope that they would get better. So that changed to hoping that they were comfortable, that they weren't in pain. And now that they're gone, now that they've died and they're no longer with us, our hope changes again. Some people believe that they will be reconnected. They will see them again in the future because they believe in going to heaven. Not everybody believes that, and that's okay. Everybody's different. So some people have that hope. I'll see them again. But other people, it's just that hope of remembering them. So like we talked about last week, that's where hope can be helpful. Holding on to those memories, thinking about them. And that can help you move forward. Being able to remember the impact, what they did for us, how they helped make us who we are. You know, some of the things that we do is because of what they did. So that's how I like to think of hope, is that it is always changing, and it's not always something that's always the same all the time. And hope is different to each one of us because we're all different. So sometimes thinking about our life without having our special person, be it a mother, father, a sister, a brother, aunt and uncle, grandparent, a friend, maybe our cat or our dog. But the thought of them not being here can really make us unhappy and make us feel that we can't have hope again. But the idea of moving onward is realizing that even though we can't be with them anymore and they're not here with us, that it is okay for us to live life, that it's okay for us to be happy, that it's okay for us to have hope to do things in our life, to hope that we can move onward in our life. So as I mentioned way back in the beginning when talking about grief, grief is not about getting over that they're gone, that they died, they're not here anymore, but learning how to live our life knowing that they aren't here anymore. You know, your life changed forever when this person or people were no longer here when they died. That changed everything in your life. And that happens, and that's okay. And that's what grief is, learning to move through that, to find ways to help us feel what we're feeling, which is what we talked about in week 2. You know, what do I feel and what helps me with my feelings? So hope is something that I think gives us strength. It's something that reminds us that there is still things that are good. There are still things that are enjoyable. There are still things wonderful in our life. So even though death is a part of our life, maybe you've experienced only one, maybe you've experienced a couple, maybe you've experienced a lot. COVID has brought up not just people that are in our everyday lives, but maybe there's somebody that's a celebrity, maybe someone who's a sports star, maybe there's somebody that you hear about in the news that hearing about their deaths has also impacted you. And that's okay too, because sometimes we might really feel close or look up to people. When Black Panther actor died, a lot of people told me how upset they were because Black Panther meant a lot to them and was somebody that they looked up to. And so I say that's okay to be upset that they're not here anymore too, that their life is over, and that's okay to be upset about that too. So the idea of hope is just making sure that we try to find a way to help ourselves know that we had that relationship, that we love that person, and that we're going to still continue to have that love as we move forward in our life. And to remember that it's okay to be happy. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to enjoy things. And some people find when they think about, would the person want me to be happy? Would they want me to enjoy things? Would they want me to continue on living life? And a lot of times people realize they would, and that can be helpful. But if that's not helping you, that's okay too. Try to find other ways that might help you have hope and move forward. So there are a couple of other activities that I have in the folder. So the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the 2 poems I added, and then I'm also going to talk about the other activities.